Good morning, everyone!
Oh, hi, good morning.
Oh, hello, Little Pickles, your official name.
That's not your official name at all. Welcome to It's Too Early.
It's the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
I'm Saige Ryan.
And we got that news for you.
We do. We have some things to talk about. How
And
very
also,
exciting.
My hair just is getting weirder and weirder during quarantine, and who cares? Like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
My hair has grown a tail.
It has grown. There's just enough back here for a perfect little ponytail.
Just a little ponytail.
Just the tiniest ponytail.
Folks, in 2021, the style is just a little ponytail. Get yourself just a tiny
ponytail.
It's like a rat tail, but longer.
Yeah.
And
not braided.
and more lustrous.
Yeah.
You have to brush your tiny ponytail 100 times every morning.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, it's very much a mullet business in the front, party in the back situation. Because if we put this in just a little tiny ponytail right here.
Yeah.
Look, you can't even tell until he turns.
Buddy.
Straight on? No idea.
I'm ready for the boardroom or the dance room.
I know those dance rooms.
It was trading floor or dance floor was what my brain was telling me to say. And then I said boardroom and dance room.
We haven't been outside in a while.
It's too early. Big news today in video games and Star Wars, and those are the Venn diagrams of our interests.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is pretty exciting. Ubisoft Massive is working on an open world Star Wars game. Tranquilo. Everyone, be cool.
Be cool, everybody.
Here's why this is good. It means the EA exclusivity license agreement is over. EA has made some great Star Wars games, but Star Wars is such a huge IP.
We could have so much more Star Wars.
There's so many wonderful things that could be done with Star Wars, and each studio has its strengths and weaknesses, and you cannot argue that Ubisoft do know how to make an open world game, and the answer is to use 1,000 people and have them crunching all the time. But
correct.
Why this is good is it means more studios will have a chance to work on Star Wars.
Yay! I love everything that can lead us to more Star Wars games. And Death and Saints, that isn't really a counter argument, because it does not counter what we're saying.
It doesn't counter what we're saying. What we're saying is it's great that everybody gets to work on Star Wars.
It's great that not just EA has Star Wars anymore, because there are a bunch of incredible companies that can make some very cool Star Wars games upcoming.
Yeah. And you know, these games, no matter how you treat your employees, these games take a long time to come out. And very obviously over the last 5 years, there was opportunity to do not just these original games, but there were opportunities to do games based on the films, based on the classic films, based on the television series. And you know, EA had all of their resources taken up with their projects that they put priority into. It would have been nice to see some other companies be able to jump in and sort of fill in those spaces that were open, you know?
Yeah. Cause Battlefront.
Battlefront 2 had an excellent campaign that a lot of people slept on.
Well, did not sleep on, intentionally avoided because the initial marketing of the game was entirely based on a problematic scheme of microtransactions, but
I call that slept on in the short term.
Excellent.
By the way, Battlefront 2 was free yesterday on the Unreal Games.
Oh, Epic.
It's free on the Epic launcher.
You know,
I've been awake for a while, and it's the board floor and the dance floor.
And this is how you dance on the dance floor.
This is how you dance on the dance. I do what's called the Spidey fingies, and the ladies run away. Yeah, I think it is free all week, Battlefront 2. If you have not tried it, download it, try it out. It's free right now.
Yeah, well, you don't have to give any money to the company that wanted to take so much of your money. It's not so bad. And they've definitely put strides forward when it came to Battlefront 2 to be like, no, really, we took the thing out. We're sorry.
By the time
Please have it for free.
By the time it released, 90% of the microtransactions that were reported on in previews were taken out. Like they clearly heard and changed. At that point, I think the damage was done, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there are some great things. By the way, if you own it on PS4, you also get the Rogue One VR mission if you have PSVR. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's the spooky Ewok mode. There's a lot of cool stuff in Battlefront 2. And there will be more cool Star Wars stuff. And some of it will be from EA.
Yeah, EA was like, we're not stopping making, like, we can still have some Star Wars.
Listen, you don't just tell the company that made Squadrons and Jedi Fallen Order that, like, you'll be taking your business elsewhere.
Right, thank you. I will be on my way.
It's time. It's somebody else's turn. Everybody gets a 5-year turn. No, everybody gets to work on it. We like Jedi Fallen Order. We like Squadrons a lot.
I still haven't played Squadrons yet, but God, I love Fallen Order.
You have got to get that little VR headset of yours hooked up to that Squadrons. The Squadrons is a very good video game.
EA had to come out and be like, but like we're still doing Star Wars. Don't worry.
Well, because I think people were afraid that like with this news that other studios were going to be making Star Wars games that like, wait, what's going to happen to Jedi Fallen Order 2? And it's like, no, that's still coming.
We're still doing it.
That is still coming.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's great. This is something you can download and have, and it can be yours.
It's a Goldeneye map that looks like Peach's castle in Mario 64. You can just play Goldeneye.
But this is a conversion. This is what we would call a conversion back in the days of like Doom and Quake wads. I love this. The mission is to get like the legendary assassin Gino from Super Mario RPG.
Look at them! They've got guns!
They got guns.
Oh my God. Look at this.
It does the full fade into the Mario. I mean, this is good.
This is so excellent. People are doing incredible work out there for no reason, and I love that.
Now, this does not just have Peach's Castle. This does not just have the GoldenEye engine running Mario maps. It does have GoldenEye maps as well. I don't know if this video shows them off, but Dan Reichert did a full stream on his Twitch channel the other day. Shout out Dan Reichert. And he showed off the actual first level of GoldenEye with all of these Mario characters, and all the signage that was in GoldenEye had been changed to Mario signage. Like, they took their time with this conversion.
Detail on this is absolutely incredible. Like, oh my God.
So much fun. So much fun.
I want to play it.
And you know, like, because it's running on modern hardware and because it's a mod, like, you're playing GoldenEye at 60 FPS.
Yeah, right?
In like full 4K 60 FPS. This is like when we were playing the PC port of Mario 64.
Right.
The unofficial PC port.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, it's amazing to watch that run at 4K 60.
And like, we all have a lot of fond memories of GoldenEye, but if you've gone back and you've taken a look at GoldenEye now, it is silly.
Look.
It is a silly game. So there are a lot of incredible updates done to this, actually, of just good gameplay style where people aren't like sliding on their knees sideways across the maps. Just saying.
It was of its time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely of its time, and it was wonderful at the time. You just don't remember those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's up until then, there was nothing on a console. Mm-hmm. Like I had like some thrown together garbage PCs, me and my friends, and we would play Quake 2. And you had to have one computer that had all your mods installed on it, so everybody could use all the mods. Mm-hmm. And there was nothing until GoldenEye 64 that let you have that first-person shooter party experience on a console. Yeah. And so GoldenEye was a huge deal.
It was, absolutely.
GoldenEye,
and so was Mario 64. Put them together. Make magic.
Bumble disabled the politics filter in its dating profiles after it was used to out Capitol rioters. So basically, people were swiping through Bumble looking for Republicans and right-wingers and matching up their pictures to Capitol insurrectionists.
Hey, out your local Nazi.
Which Bumble was then like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not what this is for. And they locked down politic filters. You can no longer search somebody by their politics. So their official statement is, we've temporarily removed our politics filter to prevent misuse. However, please rest assured that we prohibit any content that promotes terrorism or racial hatred, and we've already removed any users that have been confirmed as participants in the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
Sure.
Hey, Bumble? Hey, Bumble? Let people do it.
Let people do it.
Let people
That's
do it.
hilarious. In my opinion, that is absolutely hilarious. Let me see the dating profile of every idiot that was at that Capitol. And you know what? We must acknowledge, now if I remember things about Bumble correctly, I've never used Bumble, but I believe that's the one that women have to swipe through and find, like, and approve of.
Yeah.
It's in the women's court. A man cannot go and like a woman's profile. I think a woman has to initiate.
I think so.
Or something like
That's
that.
either
or maybe
Bumble or
likes.
Hinge or something. It's one of them.
Yeah, I think that the woman has to initiate. So, like, I'm proud of you all.
So that means this is women going through and finding Capitol insurrectionists.
If they put it back, I'll download Bumble. I'll go find some insurrectionists. I'll
I
out your
picture
local
this
Nazi.
being like Chris Hansen, like the old Chris Hansen show, To Catch a Predator, but instead it's like To Catch a Terrorist.
Yeah.
And they're like swiping, and it's like, oh, hey, good looking. Do you want to meet up? I love your buffalo hat and your face paint. Why don't we meet for dinner at what's your favorite place? And he probably says some shit like Panera Bread.
Of course.
And like, you know, really classy.
Yeah.
And like they meet and it's like, you walk in with 3 FBI agents and it's like, we just want to talk. Have a seat. Have a seat, Buffalo Man. We just want to talk.
I love that idea and I want it to exist. And now I think there should be a sketch. I think that should be a thing. I want it to exist so bad. Bumble, give it back, please.
Bumble,
Please.
stop being cowards.
I'll be nice.
Don't be cowards, Bumble.
To you, not to the white supremacists, I promise.
Look, this is just data.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just
That's it.
data.
Right. If they choose to take photos of themselves and put them on the internet to be seen, and they also choose to storm the U.S. Capitol, it just feels like the natural progression is public shaming.
Yeah,
to some
Bumble, the
capacity.
answer isn't to remove the political filter. It is to remove the people.
Yeah.
And I hope you're actually doing that like you say you are.
And Barb and Barbarian said, I'm engaged, but I will literally join Bumble to fuck shit up. That's exactly where I'm at. Do I want literally...
You're engaged?
I'm about to finish.
Oh.
Let me...
Sorry.
Do I want literally any man to ever message me or have to deal with them in any kind of romantic capacity? Absolutely not. But I will join Bumble for this.
Who's the lucky person? Have you set a date yet?
It's Bard and Barbarian. We're engaged.
Whoa, Mazel Tov.
Yeah. I mean, did you not read your message? I'm engaged. And I said, what you saying? Yeah.
Oh,
I am
to
also
each other.
engaged
I'm
to
sorry.
Bard and Barbarian.
It's early and I'm you know,
Yeah.
I'm not making these connections.
Yes, of course.
It's the 20th anniversary of Wikipedia.
Next year, Wikipedia can drink and might need to with, you know, trying to update the happenings of our year.
And here's a headline that I never thought I'd see. On its 20th birthday, Wikipedia might be the safest place online. And you know, when I thought about it, it's kind of true. Wow. When Wikipedia first came out, when it was first released, it was about 10 years before you could even think about using Wikipedia as a secondary source in something like a paper for school.
Yeah.
You could not do your homework on Wikipedia. Teachers always used to be like, you better not, don't use Wikipedia. Actually look it up.
My entire education came from Wikipedia.
I've learned so much on Wikipedia.
I was homeschooled.
Yeah.
I
Wikipedia
really
was probably your
did.
entire-
I
yeah.
really did.
Yeah. But over the last 20 years, Wikipedia has learned a lot about moderation, about who to give power to in communities, how to make a democratic source of knowledge work.
Yeah.
And when people bomb a Wikipedia, it gets changed pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly. They've been actually very good at managing misinformation. Not to say that it isn't out there. It happens. It exists. But as far as online platforms go, I think they really have done kind of the best at it, which is very interesting.
And hey, Bumble, you know what Wikipedia does when somebody misuses Wikipedia? You can look at their logs. Do you remember when people were changing things, like every time somebody in the government changes an article about a member of government, people look at the IP address and they're like, that came from the Capitol building. Somebody in the Capitol building is editing this article, and that's not allowed, and they cut it off.
I love that so much.
They're real good. Wikipedia is real good, and it's crazy that they're real good. How did it happen?
How did it happen? I think that's very disappointing that we're so confused by how a good thing happened.
But in recognition of the good boy's birthday.
Yeah.
The good source of knowledge's birthday. We want to show you, I love going down a weird Wikipedia hole.
Yes, absolutely. But for some reason, when it's phrased like that, it made me uncomfortable.
Wink. And I want y'all to know that we looked up some of the weirdest things, strangest things on Wikipedia in honor of its 20th birthday.
Tell me some of the weirdest things that have happened on Wikipedia.
This is the Mariko Aoki phenomenon, which is the phenomenon of walking into a bookstore and immediately having to poop, which is apparently a thing. Some people walk into bookstores, and the moment they're in a bookstore, they feel like they have to poop.
That's a thing?
That is a thing.
Look, I wouldn't usually ask this because I don't want to know these kind of things, but like, Chad, is that a thing?
I think maybe it's because so many people read on the toilet?
Like, it has a name.
Yeah. The Mariko Aoki phenomenon. Let me see.
It has they had to give it a name.
The phenomenon's name derives from the name of a woman who mentioned the phenomenon in a magazine article in 1985. And according to Japanese social psychologist Shozo Shibuya, the specific causes that trigger a defecation urge in bookstores are not yet clearly defined or understood.
Imagine being that woman. And that's named after you.
That's what you're known for. You mention it in an article once, and it's like,
yeah,
the Mariko Aoki phenomenon, named for the woman who talks about this and is defined by this and is this, and that's her entire personality.
Why did you mention it in the article?
Imagine that.
How does that come up?
How does it come up?
Imagine you're just like, when. Relatable content? What?
Here's a word. This is Danish. Hundeprutter Rutsjebaan. Hundeprutter Rutsjebaan. It is a dog fart roller coaster. It's a dog fart roller coaster in Bonbon Land. It opened in 1993. And it's named for the fact that the carts look like dog poop, and there's a dog taking poop in the middle of the roller coaster.
This is noticing a theme here.
I am noticing a theme. Maybe, how am I doing? How's my regularity?
Anthony.
I don't know. Why am I drawn to these?
I've got another one here that's phobophobia.
The fear of fears?
It is the fear of phobias.
The lord of all fears?
Phobophobia. Phobophobia.
Wow. The fear of phobias, and more specifically of the internal sensations associated with that phobia and anxiety, which binds it closely to other anxiety disorders.
Which is very interesting too, because it's like raise my for some anxiety friends in chat. If you have anxiety, you know that you can give yourself a panic attack out of fear of having a panic attack.
Yeah.
When you're like, this is gonna give me a panic attack, and I am so worked up because having a panic attack I'm so familiar with, and I know it feels like the end of the world, that you can have a panic attack. to prepare for your panic attack.
I'm going to have my AM panic attack. I like to start with a light panic attack, and then by lunch, I like to graduate to a mid-sized panic attack.
Yeah.
Then I pull back a little bit.
Exactly. It's like what they used to do on Extreme Home Makeover and Pimp My Ride when they'd be like, I heard you like panic attacks. So I gave you a panic attack about your panic attack.
It's the real reason why Exhibit had to stop doing the show.
Yeah.
It all became too much.
It was an anxiety disorder, and we hope he's doing well.
Paris syndrome. I love this. Paris syndrome. A sense of disappointment exhibited by individuals when visiting or going on vacation to Paris who feel that Paris is not as beautiful and magical as they thought it should be.
Oh no, it's just a whole name for having overhyped Paris in your head.
Yo.
And then you got there and they made fun of you for being American, and you were like, oh my God, this is not what I
Yeah,
thought.
and they just had an H&M. Like, that's it. They just had an H&M. Let me tell you something. That is real. That is real. And I have been to Paris, and let me tell you something about Paris. It's just another bullshit town, man. Paris is just another bullshit town. I was bored out of my mind in Paris.
I appreciate Dude Same said the thing for them that outranks phobophobia is pantophobia, which is not the fear of pants, but rather the fear of everything, which incidentally does include pants. I would love to know if y'all have some weird articles. We would love to see them. I found one that I find very interesting. Coro. It is a culture-bound syndrome, delusional disorder, which an individual has an overpowering belief that his or her sex organs are shrinking, retracting, or will disappear.
Whoa.
It's a thing. Brains are fascinating.
That's one of my favorite things about Wikipedia is you find out not only does everything exist, but dang, is there a specific word for it?
Yeah. Coro is also known as shrinking penis. Literally, that's an actual line of this article. It is just also known as shrinking penis.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's in the DSM. Like, it is. It's a whole thing, and it's fascinating. It absolutely is.
Here's one for, man, there really is a theme with me. The Great Stink.
Anthony.
Great Stink happened in July and August in central London in 1858. The hot weather exacerbated the smell of untreated human waste and industrial effluent that was present on the banks of the River Thames. And London just smelled real bad. London just smelled real bad for 6 months. This was a political cartoon, The Silent Highwayman. Death rolls on the Thames, claiming the lives of victims who have not paid to have the river cleaned up.
I mean, like, look, I always love a drawing of death. Don't get me wrong. There's also a Wikipedia article that's just a list of animals with fraudulent diplomas.
Yo! Give me some of that list.
Excellent. So this is a list of animals with fraudulent diplomas. It includes non-human animals who have been submitted as applicants to suspected diploma mills and have gotten a diploma despite not achieving academic success. They did want to clarify that these animals did not, in fact, achieve it. First, there's cats by name. First one is named Colby Nolan. The second one is named George, followed by Henrietta, Kitty O'Malley, Oliver Greenhall, Oreo Collins, and Zoe D. Katz.
Zoe D. Katz.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Dogs include Lulu, Molly, Pete, Sassafras Herbert, which is one name, Sassafras Herbert, Sonny, Wally, Ollie, Maxwell Sniffingwell, and Chester Ludlow.
Amazing. Amazing.
And these are all fraudulent diplomas. You must remember they did not successfully achieve their academics. So please
There was an
do
episode
not
of
show any
Community about
respect.
that.
Please do not show any respect to these animals.
No.
Now, Zoe D. Katz was a house cat owned by Steve K.D. Eichel around 2001. Eichel was able to obtain several well-known hypnotherapy certifications for his cat. The ease in which Zoe obtained these credentials became the subject of an article in the American Bar Association and a news report by CBS. The certification of Zoe has been cited in several books and articles on credentialing scams and has appeared in psychology and forensic journals.
Oh, man, the most disappointing part of that story is there isn't a hypnotherapist cat out there. Like,
Yeah,
Zoe
right?
can't actually do that.
Yeah.
I wish Zoe actually got her hypnotherapy credentials.
Dagger. Where's your diploma? What are your credentials?
He has no credentials.
He has no credentials, but
he thought he would move
out.
to LA and just get by on his looks like so many.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did it, just like so many.
One more. Sassafras Herbert is a female poodle belonging to a New York physician that had received a diploma from the American Association of Nutrition and Dietary Consultants. Her owner had bought the diploma for $50 to demonstrate that something that looks like a diploma doesn't mean that somebody has responsible training.
Man, there was a great season 6 Community episode about this where they find out that Greendale accidentally gave a dog a diploma.
Oh yeah.
And it's so
and
good. They actually gave a dog a degree.
Oh, that's very funny.
One of the things that I really love about Wikipedia is because it is the central repository of all human knowledge, they define everything. And there is a badge of honor in finding something that does not have a Wikipedia page. Here is the Wikipedia page for high five.
Oh, nice.
For other uses, see high five disambiguation and give me five disambiguation. Please see also low five. And I love this because you have to write an entry for something like this that is academic in nature. Like it has to pass the criteria.
Yeah.
So the high five is a hand gesture that occurs when two people simultaneously raise one hand each, about head high, and push, slide, or slap the flat of their palm against the flat palm of another person. The gesture is often preceded verbally by a phrase like give me five, high five, up high, or slap hands. Its meaning varies with the context of use, but can include as a greeting, congratulations, or celebration. Wikipedia sometimes is just written for aliens.
Yes. There's that whole comic series that are like the not human things where it's like the cat is making a rattling sound.
Oh yeah, Strange Visitors, the Nathan Pyle comic.
Yep.
Yeah, on Instagram.
I, as an annoying white person, my new annoying white person thing will be to go, high five, now see low five. Only obnoxious white people do high fives anymore.
Do you know where the origin of the
They go,
phrase...
look at the elbow, we missed.
Do you know where the origin of the phrase comes from? Because it has that. The use of the phrase as a noun has been part of the Oxford English Dictionary since 1980 and a verb since 1981. It's related to the slang give me five, which is a request for some form of handshake, with five referring to the number of fingers on a hand.
Yeah, I figured that's the five.
The high five originated from the low five, which has been part of African American culture since the 1920s.
Of course we took it.
It's probably impossible to know exactly when the low first transitioned to a high, but there are many theories about its inception.
Everyone's really wondering. Everybody's really digging into what the history is of that.
NBA legend Magic Johnson once suggested that he invented the high five at Michigan State in the late 1970s.
What a bold thing.
What a bold thing to say, I created the high five.
I created the high five. Now, if I ever look at you and I say give me five, I mean dollars.
See, I thought because of the low five, I thought give me five. Yeah, I thought $5. But
Did you
five.
really not think it was about five
I didn't think about 5 fingers until literally.
Oh, 100%. I always thought a high five was high 5 fingers.
Do you know? It's one of those things where it's been so abstracted because it's just a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
That I've never thought about it.
Huh. Yeah, it's a money please. If I go
money please,
give me $5, please and thank you. Or cats. I will also accept 5 cats. Another one that I found interesting is an article that is just titled Molly's Nipple.
Tell me all about Molly's Nipple.
Molly's Nipple is the name given to as many as 7 peaks and at least 1 buttle and other geological features in Utah. Some sources claim that there are 11 geological features in Utah that bear this name. At least some of those are attributed to John Kitchen, a pioneer of early exploration in Utah, who named them to commemorate a nipple of his wife, Molly. Thank you, Squish Ramon, for listening. I appreciate that.
Yo. This dude was exploring the United States, blazing trails, drawing maps, figuring out where we could live, finding safe havens for the pioneers. And he said, "Hey, do you know what this mountain of this hills looks like? Do you know what this butte looks like?
What's a butte?
It's like one of these.
Ah, a flat one.
Yeah. Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of beautiful Molly's nipples.
Yeah.
Do you think was she honored by it?
Do you think she was flattered?
Was she
he
flattered?
kept naming mountains after her nipple?
Yeah, he's like, that one looks like her nipple.
That
one
one
looks
too.
like her butt.
But like, No.
That looks like my wife's boob. And it's like, okay, dude, we have been traveling for a few months, and maybe you need a break.
Maybe you need to go home.
Maybe
to Molly.
Go home to Molly. I think you miss Molly.
I think what we're all getting here is that you kind of miss Molly, and maybe you should go home.
Bleichart says that they actually hiked half of Molly's nipple this year.
Congratulations. Now, I have to know.
Does it look like nipple?
Does it look like...
Look like a nipple?
Like titty climb? For science, I would like to know. There is also one here that's pathological science, speaking of which is just discredited scientific theories that will not die.
Oh God, there are so many of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, half to 1/3 of our 1/3 to 1/2 of the episodes of We Have Concerns are probably about those.
Yeah, that's
things
fair.
that people believe that like, check it out, wehaveconcerns.com, new episode today. Wikipedia, of course, also can solve the great problems of our time. Here's the article about toilet paper orientation. And some people hold strong opinions about which is better. Advice columnist Ann Landers said that the subject was the most controversial in her column's history. She received over 15,000 letters in 1986 about toilet paper orientation.
Why? Oh, there's an article that's GHOTI, and it is a creative respelling of the word fish to illustrate the irregularities in English spelling and pronunciation, so that technically this word can be read as fish. If you go through all of the broken parts of English that like don't make any goddamn sense.
I just want to say, for anybody that feels left hanging, there is no consensus on the correct way to hang toilet paper.
It's over.
The discussion or the toilet paper?
Both. Truly.
I'm also an over person because I feel like otherwise you're pulling and there's too much chance of it hitting the wall. And I don't want. I want the toilet paper just hanging in time and space.
Yes. There's a lot of good ones, honestly. I could do this all day. 100%. Dazzle camouflage. It's a wacky striped paint job that was used on ships during World War I.
Like zebra striped.
Dazzle
ships.
camouflage is
Dazzle
what they called
camouflage.
it. Wow. There's so many good things here. There's literally like, I have so many more.
There are tons. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Thank you, Wikipedia, for 20 years of interesting information and a lot of weird shit.
Thank you so much for everything you've done for us, for kids writing reports, for people having arguments on Twitter that are trying to make it look like they know more than they do.
True.
By quickly looking things up. We appreciate you and everything you've done for the world. If you all have some favorite weird Wikipedia entries, why don't you go put them in the Discord?
Yeah, I would love to see it. I'll also link to one of these articles that has like a big directory of them as well, so you can pick out some of your favorites from there should you choose to. And we would love to see those. And maybe we'll pop into the Discord and drop some of our favorites as well, because I've definitely got a few more in here that I would have loved to talk about.
Thanks for watching, you little pickles. That's your official name that we've decided on. It's 100% canon. And if you want to see more, it's too early. Subscribe here for new episodes.
And catch us live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on twitch.tv/PixelCircus at 8 a.m. Pacific.
Goodbye, little pickles. That's your official name.
That's not their name. Thank you for watching.